Bring them on.
Yeah.
Bring them on.
Got no choice now.
What options do you
Got
have?
no choice. Can't go home.
Can't turn around now. Bring them on. Let's go.
Like when the rings open up and you actually get on the canvas and you can't turn around now. You got to fight.
I've never experienced that before. I couldn't tell you what that's like. I'm sure you can.
Can't just turn around.
Have you thought about turning around when you were walking onto the canvas? Like, on second thought, I'm about to get my ass kicked. I don't want to do this.
I think after some first rounds, maybe it was like, is there a kiss? Want to get away? Bright Eyes. That's a great song.
Turn around, Gambo. Gambo, the rings open up. Gambo walks in. Yeah, I'm going to get my ass kicked tonight. I think I'm just going to go home and eat a pizza pie.
Melissa Manchester?
No.
Turn around, Bright Eyes.
That was,
Turn around every now and then.
oh, God, what was her name? It's right there. Bonnie something?
Bonnie, yes.
Bonnie something?
Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler.
That's what it was.
I'm not looking at anything up. Bonnie Tyler. There it is. All right, we got it. Yeah, you can't turn around now. You got no choice. You got to play the Phillies. They're a good baseball team, but so are the Diamondbacks, okay? Diamondbacks swept Milwaukee. They swept the Dodgers. There's a lot of talk, right? Listen, Philly just waxed Atlanta, and we thought Atlanta was the best team in baseball all year long. And they waxed them. They took them out pretty easily. So I think we're looking at the Phillies. We're looking at everything they did and be like, wow, okay, that's impressive. And that's impressive. And that's impressive. Yeah, they're an impressive baseball team. But how do you not look at the Diamondbacks if you're the Phillies and say, I don't think you could look at the Diamondbacks. Everybody said the right things. Bryce Harper and everybody said the right things.
You should.
Man, they just knocked the Dodgers into next year. Like it was very impressive. Their starting pitching was great. Their bullpen was great. Their power was great. Their defense was great. So I don't think you go into this in awe of the Philadelphia Phillies. They're not a juggernaut. They're not the 5-time defending champions. They're not a dynasty. They're a really good baseball team. You probably can't make a lot of mistakes if you want to beat them. And you're gonna have to win a game there to win the series. And that's a tough place to play. I get it. But again, I don't look at the Phillies. I do favor the Phillies. Everybody's picking the Phillies.
Everybody's picking the Phillies.
I get it. I looked at a CBS Sports line. Every single guy picked the Phillies. Nobody picked the Diamondbacks. So, I think they're the co-favorites with the Astros to win it, right? Like with the odds.
Okay, the last time I checked, the Rangers actually became the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. But has that changed? If I were putting betting odds on it, I would say the Phillies are the odds-on favorites.
You would.
That's who I'd say is the odds-on favorite.
Remember, the Phillies will have home field advantage in the World Series if they play Houston, but they would not have home field advantage if they play the Rangers. The Rangers would have home field advantage over the Phillies.
No, look, they're beatable. Everybody's beatable. Nobody's, of course they can lose. Philly, they seem to be hitting their stride in October this year like they did last year. I think, to me, that's the core of it. That and the fact that winning there is going to be really, really tough. Philadelphia has played in 23 postseason games the last 2 years. They have figured out a way to be successful this time of year. And that, I think, more than anything, is what makes you look at them and go, man, that's going to be a really, really tough out because their lineup is loaded. They're starting pitching. It's not like the Dodgers. They're going to get more than 4 2/3 innings out of their starting pitching in this series between Wheeler, Nola, and Ranger Suarez, who pitched really, really well in the last series. Their bullpen is loaded with a bunch of dudes who throw 97. Not scared of them, but just understand that as far as challenges go, I think you went from Milwaukee and LA, and they were like a 6 or a 7. This challenge got cranked up to like a 9 or a 10, right? This is a big team for them to beat.
Listen, neither one of these series has led us to a discussion of what do the Diamondbacks have to do for next year. Because they won them, and they won them easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing against the Brewers. Oh, my God. The Brewers exposed the Diamondbacks' weakness, and here's what it is. The Dodgers exposed there were no weaknesses. They kicked their asses, both of them. There's going to be a series, and it might be this one, when the series is over, you're going to be like, okay, this is what the Diamondbacks have to do to next year to be better than that team. To be able to get over the hump next year, the Diamondbacks have to do X, X, and X. The Phillies will probably push them in a 7-game series, will probably push the Diamondbacks into realizing some of the weaknesses that they have that we may not already know about.
Torey Lovullo, meeting with the media earlier today, said his starting rotation for the NLCS is this.
Zach Gallen will start game 1, Merrill will start game 2, and then we'll go TVA the rest of the way for you guys.
We assume Brandon fought in game 3, but Torey wouldn't go so far as to say it. One thing he did tell us earlier today, and we're going to replay this entire interview in its duration coming up in just a few minutes. So if you want to hear the entire Torey Lovullo conversation, stay with us. he did reveal to us earlier today he's not going to go with anybody on short rest in this series.
Bottom line is we got to put the best players in the best position to be successful. I want to get a look at their lineup. We've had advanced scouts that have been sitting on them for the past, 15, 18 games. So they're going to give me a bird's eye view here in the coming days about, what does their lineup look like? Where can we match up? The typical things that you would love to be able to ask any baseball question of the Philadelphia Phillies that will help you formulate a plan and move it forward. So I haven't had those conversations yet. We will over the weekend. But once we get there, you're right. 1, 2, and 3 is 1, 2, and 3. Where it starts for Game 4, we're not sure yet.
Here's the specific cut about the plan for the NLCS.
Right? How good was that for us? Our 1A and 1B, we're going to throw 4 of the 5 games. It was going to be perfect for us. So, unfortunately, we got to make some adjustments. We're actually talking about that right now. So these are the discussions that we're having. Will we bring back anybody on short rest? No, that is not anything that we've been considering right now. We've been after Merrill and Zach down the stretch. I don't want to overextend them and end up hurting them. But we feel like we got really good coverage. I haven't had a conversation that's been complete here, so we don't know who's going to give us 1, 2, and 3. We've got the 3 candidates. We're just going to mix them up the best way we can to find out how to win the baseball game.
You're 8 wins away from winning a World Series. Like, I understand the protection of the players and everything, but, man, every once in a while a guy can go on 3 days rest. You're not asking him to do it 5 times, but if you need a guy to do it once, and you probably would do it and not say, hey, give me 7 innings. Can you give me 5? Can you go on 3 days rest and give me 5? Look, the Diamondbacks are against it. They're not going to do it. But, man, when you're this close, I don't think you throw that option out the window and just say, we're definitely not going to do that. I think you got to keep every option available to you depending on how the series goes.